Muhammad Ali was one of the most outspoken self-promoters in sports history. He said that he was the greatest. All the time you would think that that confidence would be construed as arrogance. Yet Ali was one of the most beloved sports icons we've ever known today. We're going to look at what made him such a remarkable man, how he was supremely confident without coming off as too arrogant, and how he can make the kind of impact he did on the people around us. The first thing you have to note about Muhammad Ali is that he could trash talk like no other. Well, the coup was nothing but a trap. He's a bomb. I'm the world's greatest. He must fall in 5 rounds. But if you talk about me, I'll cut it 3 or dig. That this will be Buster's last stand. I will do the bus stop. What the Indians did to Custer. I'm gonna wipe him out. I'm gonna do something to Joe Frazier that might be illegal. My lawyers told me to bring a bail bondsman to get me out of jail. They might put my tail in jail and get me out on bail after what I do. The joke, Ali predicted he'd crush every fighter he ever fought, and he usually did. But you never heard him say, I respect his talent. I've been training hard, and I think I'm gonna come out on top. It was always about how the guy he was fighting was a total bum and was about to get whooped. Obviously, this runs the risk of coming off as extremely arrogant. But Ali pulled this bravado off while remaining very likable, and it was primarily because his confidence was real, but his arrogance was performed, and you knew he was kind of joking when he made ridiculous and funny statements like these. Only last week, I murdered a rock angel stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick fast. Last night I cut the light off my bedroom. Hit the switch was in the bed for the room was dog. The rhyming, the exaggerated bragging, the humor. These are things that let the audience know it's all just a performance. We know Ali didn't really think he was going to go to jail or that he was faster than lightning. And because we can see that he's partially kidding, we can forgive the boasting. So the lesson here is that if you're going to brag, it is actually less obnoxious when you take it to the extreme. If you can take it so far to the extreme that people laugh, then bragging can even become something that people like about you. And I've seen Kevin Hart make this same type of joke often, and I will say, you look fantastic. It's like, honestly, looks like somebody drew me. It's like perfect. You see, they're just an example. But that kind of exaggerated boast and can actually make people like you more. And that's how it was with Ali. But let's be clear, talk without walk means nothing. A huge portion of Ali's charisma comes from the fact that he was superhumanly talented. He backed up what he said. Look at how good he was. Another going right. At that goes another one. Sunny volley moving in on London. A fuselage appointed by Muhammad Ali. London goes down. Thank you, right. Another sneaky right. Standing over the soul, Ali was so good that sometimes he looked like he had actual superpowers. So if you're going to brag, make sure that you're doing it over the top to the point of humor. But if you want to convey honest confidence that inspires people, make sure you can back it up. As much confidence as Ali had, and as much as he showed, he was just as good in the ring. But that wasn't everything that Ali had. He was also a dominant force in every interaction. Watch. Hear how he completely ignores the reporter, telling him that he isn't pretty, and delivers one of his most iconic lines. Heard it, hold it. You're not that pretty. Huh. My bad, man. I cook up the world. This kind of interaction might look insignificant, but it happens all the time. And it is very important. It is a clash of frames. We've talked about this before in different videos on Tyrion if you want to check that out. But right here, Ali's frame says that he should be doing the talking. The reporter's frame says that Ali should listen because he's asking questions. Those two frames collide, and Ali, as always, comes out on top. The winner of any frame collision is going to be the person who believes their frame more. But watch here to see the subtleties of how that is communicated. And I want you to pay attention to 3 things. First, how Ali doesn't look at the reporter, but the reporter looks at him. Second, how Ali doesn't respond to what the reporter says, but the reporter responds to him. Have you ever bit your tongue when you disagreed with someone who was telling you how wrong you were? Look how Ali handled that kind of a situation. Japanese, how can you do my pose a lot? My freedom, you my opposer when I want justice, you. My first nominee qualities, you wanting stand up for me in America for my religious beliefs. And you want me to go somewhere and fight, but you want to stand up for me. It's not just his skill at boxing, but this that made Muhammad Ali an icon. Agree or disagree with him. You knew exactly what he stood for. You knew exactly how he felt because he told you to your face. That kind of unreserved honesty draws people like a magnet because it shows that, unlike almost everyone else, Ali wasn't afraid of the consequences of the truth. Here he is speaking about his refusal to fight in Vietnam. If you don't know the background, the short of the story is that Ali refused to fight in Vietnam when he was drafted based on his religious beliefs. As a Muslim, now keep in mind, he is a black Muslim man in 1960s in America is a huge, huge thing. Thank this movie's commercials, advertisements, endorsement, and even the heavyweight championship of the world. This is all about the meat. If I were only give up my belief, if I were only deny the honorably rising honor and the truth to God, have given you whatever punishment, whatever persecution is for standing up of our religious beliefs, even if it means facing Machine Gun Father Day. I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die now. You might not agree with all these religious beliefs or his refusal to fight in the Vietnam War, but when you see someone stand up to authority and social convention, because at the time Vietnam was still pretty well supported, you can't help but respect that person's conviction. Most people blow whichever way social norms take them. And when we find someone rooted firmly in their own beliefs, who is willing to suffer the consequences of stating and standing up for what they believe in, part of us loves them for their bravery. So if you take only one thing from this video, make it this: think of something you believe in that you might be hiding from the people around you, and stop hiding it. You don't have to push your beliefs on others, but stand up for what you believe. Even when it's inconvenient for you, it might feel like that would alienate you from everyone, but it's actually one of the best things you can do to build self-esteem and radiate charisma. If you're curious what some of the other things that can help you radiate charisma are, there's actually 4 things in total in a first impression. And unfortunately, most people do these completely wrong. They make a mistake in the order and butcher their first impressions. So if you're curious what those things are and how to avoid that mistake, we've set up another video that you can get by clicking the box here. It's going to take you to another page where you can submit your email and avoid making that mistake for the rest of your life. If you've enjoyed this video and want to be the first to know when we post new ones, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. That way we'll pop up on your YouTube home screen every single week. You won't have to worry about ever missing a new video. Just go ahead, click the button here to do that. You'll get lots more breakdowns like these, plus the best tips that I have for being your most charismatic, confident self in the moments that count the most. If you have any video suggestions, please go ahead, write them in the comments. Muhammad Ali was a very common suggestion, and I couldn't be happier that I finally took the time to research him, because he was an incredible dude. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm looking for, we're just seeing you in the next one.